All right, let's talk about it. Logan Paul and the WWE. Let's talk about why Logan Paul is hated. You see, Logan Paul is a really mysterious case because he's athletic. Can he do the moves? Yeah, he can do the moves. He's athletic. He knows how to, do a backflip. He can do a front flip. He can do, whatever move that you ask him to do within given time, he can do it. Right? Can he pull off a match with somebody? Yes, he can be guided by somebody. Yes, he can hold his own. He can make it look good. He can make it look even believable. But there's certain things that Logan Paul lacks within the company that why fans dislike him. We're going to talk about why people dislike him right now because his booking, right? His booking as being one of the top guys in the company, even though he hasn't earned that. Even though he hasn't really done anything in the fans' eyes, even though the WWE says, hey, look, he's beaten The Miz. Look, he's beaten AJ Styles. Look, he's beaten Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. He's beaten these names. So you should believe him in this spot. But the reason that we don't believe him in this spot because he comes from an outside world. Did Bad Bunny do good in his matches with Damian Priest and John Morrison and The Miz at WrestleMania? Did he do good in his match against Damian Priest at Backlash? Yes. Did he do good in the Royal Rumble? Yes. Does that mean I want to see Bad Bunny every single week or twice a month or every big show taking spots away from guys that's in the company? Does that mean I want to see Bad Bunny as the Intercontinental Champion? No. Does that mean I want to see Bad Bunny as the United States Champion? No. Does that mean I want to see Bad Bunny beat AJ Styles? No. That's the problem that WWE seems to not understand about the fans. Yes, these celebrities, these outside people that come into the company, they may be able to do the moves and make the match look believable, but we don't want to see them beat these guys that have been doing this for X amount of years or have been on the road day in and day out. And that's another problem, at least for me, is that Logan Paul is being positioned in this top spot in the company and he hasn't had the miles that other guys that's in the company that has not even been given an opportunity yet. He's being put in elimination chamber matches over and over again, Money in the Bank matches over and over again, WrestleMania matches, beating guys, named guys, and he hasn't really done anything. He came in right off the bat in the mid card and then worked his way to Roman and then went back down and then went back up to Cody and then went back down again and had a United States Championship reign within that. There's guys that's still in the company, that's been in the company for years, and that are talented, that can talk on the mic, that haven't been given an opportunity, that haven't been given those same chances that Logan Paul has coming in from the outside. Now, say what you want about Roman Reigns. If you dislike his schedule, if you dislike how he's booked, if you dislike, him showing up every few months and he's going to be written off after WrestleMania and come back at like Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, then disappear again and then come back at the Rumble and all that type of jazz. Yes, if you dislike that, understand something. Roman Reigns has earned that schedule. He's put a lot of asses in the seats within his heel run. Within from 2020 to now, he's built a lot of the company back up into his good cachet and his good money, brought money to the company that a lot of people thought he wouldn't bring because he was getting booed out of buildings for years when they try to position him as the next John Cena instead of the first Roman Reigns. Now, Roman has earned that schedule because guess what? He was on the road day in, day out, doing house shows or live events, whatever you want to call them, and he was putting in the work. He was doing things that he might not like to do, but the company like Vince wanted him to do, and he was doing them, and he was trying to perfect them. Suffering Succotash, all those promos, all those programs that Roman may not have wanted to do, but guess what? He had to do them. All the house shows, all the international tours, the tribute to the troop shows, even if he wanted to be with his family, Roman did those things. Logan Paul has come in and not done those things. He's not been on a lot of house shows. He's not been putting in the miles. He's not been doing things that he doesn't want to do. He comes in and, hey, Logan, we got this for you. Oh, all right. And it's always a top guy, top program. And he hasn't put in that small work where he has to go on the road, do things he doesn't want to do, take bumps over and over again, night in, night out, be there for the fans and show up every single night. No, he comes in as a celebrity. As a celebrity, it's one thing if you come in as a worker. If you come in as a wrestler from an independence, from NXT, somewhere else, AEW, whatever, and you come in and you get that schedule, fine. But if you come in as a celebrity and you come in and you want to get, used sparingly, sporadically, and you come in for the big pay-per-views, the big shows, or PLEs as they're called now, and you're already in the top spots, you're already having a United States Championship reign where you never defend it because you're never there, yes, fans are going to be upset. And to me, Logan Paul holding the United States Championship is the same equivalent. It's the equivalent of David Arquette holding the World Heavyweight Championship. But nobody looks at it that way because why? Because Logan Paul is athletic. He can do the moves. David Arquette, he couldn't do a lot of the moves. He wasn't athletic. He was just stumbling around in the ring, and he beat Eric Bischoff and pinned him and won the world title on a fluke. Logan Paul, he comes in, he does the work. He's athletic. He could do a backflip. Woo! You could do a backflip. I'm not taking anything away from your athleticism. Yes, you're very athletic, and I love that about your style. But guess what you lack, sir? You lack psychology. And he might be learning it. I don't know. He might be learning it on the go. He's working with a lot of guys that's been there, done that. They know the ins and outs. They know when to do something, why to do something, why not to do something. Logan Paul does not have that. He can't. He's so new. He's only 5 years in the WWE. He can't have that in him. Does he have the natural ability to do the moves? Yes, Randy Orton did as well. But Randy Orton came from a background of wrestling in his background. His father, his grandfather. He picked up on everything really fast. He understood the psychology. Logan Paul, from what I see in his matches, yes, he's great at being a bad guy. He's great at getting the people to dislike him and switching that, fuse in his personality to being like, okay, I'm going to be a bad guy and I'm going to make you hate me by saying things that are true or saying things that I know is going to piss you off. Like they may not be true, they may be true and you don't want to hear them and I'm going to say it, or they may not be true and I'm going to say them arrogantly to make you hate me more. Yes, he's good at being a douchebag. He is. He's good at making people hate him. Because when he was brought in as a babyface, that didn't really work. People didn't want to cheer him because they didn't want to see him. Nobody wanted to see him. But when you play up on that and play up on, hey, we don't like this guy because he shouldn't be here. Yes, that's money. We want to see this guy get beat up now. We want to see him get beat up. And when he had the United States Championship, there was a lot of people he could have went through. There's a lot of people he could have fought. But what made him even more hated within that time is, okay, we see what you're doing. You're putting the U.S. title on him just to get attention on the WWE, just to get attention on Logan Paul, just to get attention on him holding the U.S. title. Because he's not defending it. He only fought LA Knight the whole time. Really. I might have missed somebody in there, but if I did, please enlighten me. Please correct me and remind me, because I do not remember. I don't remember this reign because he didn't defend the title. He could have earned some respect within the fans if he would have put on a lot of good matches and had a couple programs within there before losing it back to LA Knight, right? If he would have did that, maybe he would have had the respect, because he already won the U.S. title beating Rey Mysterio, a guy that's respected. So hey, he beat Rey Mysterio. He's a player now. No, fans still don't view him that way. No matter how much WWE tries to force him down our throat as he's our guy, he's going to be a top player, he's going to be an everyday guy, even though he's not. Even though he said that on the first Raw on Netflix that he's going to be there full time and he's dedicating his whole career to WWE. That's not been the case. He's a guy that's come in with a big contract because of his following outside of the WWE. And that's not liked. People have expressed they don't like that. Karrion Kross has brought light to people not liking Logan Paul's position in the WWE. And it's not about Logan Paul, as Karrion Kross said. It's not. It's about what Logan Paul is and what he represents and what the company wants him to be. It wants him to be to us. And we're not accepting it, to the point where people are just not going to watch his matches now. We're not watching him in this position. We don't want to support this. Because if we watch it, if we buy merch, then that means, hey, we like this. Hey, we want to see this. We may want to see him get beat up, but the best way to show the company that we don't want to see something is to not watch it, not react, don't make noise. And it comes to a point now where now people are starting to realize that, and now they're starting to just disengage from Logan Paul a little bit, at least as far as watching his matches. Now, when you're watching Raw and SmackDown, he pops up, you might continue to watch the show, and he cuts a promo with John Cena or whatever and whatnot, and he's in this top position that he shouldn't be, and that could be to another guy, that could be to somebody else in a company that's busting their ass night in, night out. I keep saying this, busting their ass night in, night out. That's not given the opportunity. That's just simply not given the opportunity that a Logan Paul has been given. Imagine if Carmelo Hayes was given the same push that Logan Paul has been given. Imagine if Karrion Kross has been given the same push. Imagine if Andrade. Imagine if Montez Ford as a singles. Imagine somebody other than Logan Paul that's been in the company that's earned that push. Given that push. Imagine that. Imagine how mind-boggling that would be to see. Like, wow. We're actually rewarding a guy for being here and being loyal and doing the crap that we want him to do, and still managing to get a reaction and have great matches and be there and cut good promos. Well, some people good promos, But forget all that. Because we have Logan Paul. And Logan Paul, guys, he can go viral. Can you go viral? Karrion Kross has just proved that he can go viral. That wrestlers can go viral if you let them. There's a lot of guys that just focus so much on wrestling that they didn't really put a lot of emphasis into their social media presence. And a lot of guys weren't even allowed the opportunity to have a social media presence outside of, let's say, Twitter or Instagram. Like Twitch. There was a time where people weren't even allowed to stream and do gaming and, do things like that. Hell, Zack Ryder was punished for getting over outside of the WWE. But imagine if they had the wherewithal to build that social media presence and realize how important it is, at least to the WWE, to go viral and create a viral moment where millions of people are watching a single video, a single clip. Yes, if wrestlers were allowed to do that at that time and it wasn't, taken away from them and it wasn't, put in an asterisk of, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. And if you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. If that was allowed, yes, there would be a lot of people that be very popular on social media and be viral, because then you could let out their real personalities, or you could get your character over that's not being getting over on TV. Because there's a lot of people that's character has a lot of depth to it, but we don't get to see it because it's not fleshed out. It's not fleshed out on the TV because there's so many guys and girls that need to be showcased, that there's so many people that fall into the back. And those people that fall into the back, they're just sitting around, they could go on social media and get their character over. Or they could have a storyline that the company can see is getting over on the internet. And hey, we're going to put it on TV and make it mean something more, even if we didn't have any storyline written in by the writers that's going into it. The example of that is Kofi Kingston of the New Day and Joaquin Wilde of LWO, where they had a little mini thing going into their match the next week on Raw on Twitter. They had a little back and forth thing. I don't know if people saw that, but you should go look at it. It was really good. It was really good, and it built to their match to make, instead of it just being a cold match between Joaquin Wilde and of the LWO and Raul, or what's his name now? Not Raul Mendoza, Cruz del Toro and Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods of the New Day. Instead of it being a cold match, it had a little bit of excitement into it because, hey, now there's a little bit of animosity between the two, and we want to see if, the LWO could actually beat the New Day and make a little name for themselves by beating these guys, by beating this established tag team. Instead of it being, hey, here are these guys and we're just going to throw them in a match because, they're two opposite teams. They're babyface and they're heels. No, now we have a little something. And in the end, I really believe that Logan Paul's pay isn't equivalent to his value to the company. I don't believe that. Whatever he's getting paid, I don't know what he's getting paid. I'm not inside WWE. I'm not inside baseball. All I know is what I see. I've been a wrestling fan for decades, right? So all I know is what I see. And what I see is Logan Paul is being pushed more than he should be. More than guys that are in the company that deserve to be pushed, that have more ability to him. Because there's a difference between doing the moves and athleticism and being a bad guy and being a douchebag and making the people hate you. Yes, that's a talent, but there's a difference between that and being a real worker and knowing when to do something, why to do something, and how to get the crowd to react to anything. There's a difference. And a guy just coming in, because believe it or not, WWE, Logan Paul is still green. He's still green. He can't carry a match. He can't call the match by himself. Like, If two guys, I guarantee you, if AJ Styles and Logan Paul got in that match at WrestleMania, Logan Paul was not calling the match because AJ Styles is the veteran. So if Logan Paul is fighting a veteran, why in the world is Logan Paul beating the veteran and he has no cachet in the business? And it's become to the point to where now Logan Paul means nothing to the company, at least in the eyes of the fans. Not in the eyes of the WWE, of course, because they're going to still keep putting him in these positions. But in the eyes of the fans, if somebody beats Logan Paul, okay, you beat Logan Paul. You beat a celebrity. You beat somebody who doesn't really wrestle like that. You beat Logan Paul. You didn't really beat anybody. But if you lose to Logan Paul, oh my God, you lost to Logan Paul? How could he lose to Logan Paul? He's Logan Paul. He hasn't done anything in the company, really. He's overpushed. This guy is a celebrity. How do you lose to a celebrity? Because here's the thing he's going to have to struggle to shake. It's being that celebrity guy. Like how Maven was the tough enough guy, he's the celebrity guy. And it's that's hard to shake because most celebrities, they come in, they do 1, 2, 3 matches, and they're gone. He's a guy that's been in the company and you keep doing matches, and they want people to take him as a serious wrestler and as a serious contender and a serious threat to people like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, and the fans are just not buying it. And because the fans are not buying him in that position, that's the struggle the company is having with the fans. Because no matter how much you force him in these spots, in these big shows, in these big title matches, in these big feuds, we're not believing him in it because of everything I said. Everything I said prior. You know, he's not on the road. He's not doing all these matches. He's not there every week. He's not taking all these bumps. He's not doing things that he's not supposed to do. He immediately comes in these key positions, you know, and he has this contract that other guys had to work for to get. You know, it's all these factors that come in on why fans have this animosity with Logan Paul, the wrestler. The person, like I said, they might hate Prime, they might hate his, you know, his impulsive podcast, whatever it's called, the Logan Paul podcast. Let's just call it that because I think it's called Impulsive or whatever. You know, they may hate that. They may hate, you know, his Japan thing. They may hate whatever. You know, I'm not here to speculate on why people hate Logan Paul the person. I'm here to speculate on why people dislike or hate the man in the business of the WWE, and that is why I think Logan Paul will always struggle in the WWE until he has that breakout moment to where the fans respect him. We respect his athleticism. We respect him putting his body on the line for our entertainment. But I don't think we respect him as a wrestler the same way we do other guys that he has beaten.